Happy Wednesday, everybody! Today I would like to present to you my top 5 rejection moments as a person that gets rejected sometimes. Number 5. So once upon a time I was making a bromance video with a friend. It's called In Pursuit of Bromance and it's really funny. As part of our bromance video we decided to go to a country bar because he likes to go to bars and I like to country dance. So that worked out really well. And while we were there we were talking to different people, which was incredibly awkward for me because I'm very shy. But there was one girl there that kind of caught my eye, and she looked like she was a good dancer, and our eyes kept on meeting up, like from different parts of the bar area place. So eventually I came over to her and I said, "Hey, do you mind if I sit next to you?" And she said, "Well, of course." So there's a point for me, thank you very much. And we started chatting and we were hitting it off pretty well. About 30 seconds later, all of a sudden, I noticed that our knees were touching, and I thought to myself, wow, that's going a lot faster than I expected. And I asked her to dance, and she was a fantastic dancer. So we continued talking, and I was getting to know her a little bit, and so I asked her, "Hey, what are your hobbies?" And she said, "Oh, well, I like to dance, I'm a teacher, and every once in a while I like to smoke pot," which kind of took me off guard, but I said, "Oh, that's nice." And then I told her that I was a conservative Catholic. Her immediate response was, "Oh, well, I'm a hippie to the core." And I was thinking to myself, okay, well, that's fine. Like, we can still have a conversation as two people who enjoy dancing together. But our conversation very much died out after that. Reached an all-time low when she said, "Yeah, so I wouldn't ever be interested in any of this," gesturing to me, of course. But that's a charming experience. Number 4. This is a story of how I got rejected without asking anybody out. So there's this fantastic girl named Sam, and we get along really great. She's a great friend. I've asked her out a few different times. She's always said no. She's always said no. She's always said no. Oh well, somehow that doesn't impede our friendship, and we get along great. Anyways, one day we were having dinner together, and we had some sangria, because sangria is delicious. And I had just enough that I wasn't comfortable driving anymore. Prudence. So we decided to walk home, and then we would pick up my car later. It was a nice walk, with nice company, after a nice dinner. And then Sam turns to me and says, "So Peter, I'm gonna pretend this is a sangria talking, even though it's really not. But I want you to know that if you ask me out, I'm gonna say no." And I was flabbergasted? Riddle me this, how do you respond to that? I don't know. If you have an answer for that, leave it in the comments. Number 3! Lucy is one of the sweetest girls that I know. She lived a few hours away, but we have different dreams and projects that are very similar to each other, so we decided to stay in touch. Eventually we started praying together over Skype every week as well, and then we gave each other nicknames. I called her Princess and she called me Hun. So no, we weren't officially dating, but I really liked Lucy and was trying to figure out a good way to ask her out. After all, we seemed to be getting pretty close. So one day I was visiting her because I was in her neck of the woods, and during that visit I started noticing some clues that there was already somebody special in her life. So I asked very neutrally, "Hey Lucy, do you have a boyfriend?" And she said, "Of course I have a boyfriend, Peter," and laughed. I mean, of course Lucy has a boyfriend. How could a girl like Lucy not have a boyfriend? Silly Peter, you're such a goof. I might have cried a little bit that night. I said might, I did not say I did, but it still feels a little strange because we continue to call each other Princess and Hun. And I guess that's just the way things go. I'm banking on the idea that her boyfriend is not the jealous type. Number 2! I asked Molly out on a date and she said yes! I'm so proud of myself. She did not reject me right out of the gate. She did seem to feel kind of uneasy as she said yes, but she said yes. And that counts. So I picked her up for dinner, we were having a great time, and of course we were enjoying sangria. Then suddenly Molly said to me, "Hey Peter, is it okay if we don't call this a date?" Of course, Molly, this doesn't have to be a date. Story of my life. Just fits with the pattern. This night is also memorable for me because Molly and I were supposed to meet up with some Mormon friends of ours who were having a country swing party that night. And as we finished our pitcher of sangria, we realized that sangria probably wasn't the best prelude to a country swing party with Mormons. But we were feeling okay, so we decided, it would be okay to join the Mormons. And we went and danced with them and had a great time and tore up the dance floor, because that's of course how I dance. And we thought we got away with it. Later I talked to my close Mormon friend from that group and she told me that she could smell it on her breath. So, moral of the story, don't do that. She said it was okay. We definitely kept our composure and all the rest, but still probably not wise to do that again in the future. Story number 1. Once upon a time I asked out a coworker, and she's kind of a happy-go-lucky girl, but suddenly she got really serious. After a brief pause she turned to me and said, "Can I get back to you on that?" And I said, "Of course, take your time." So life goes on. A week later I happened to be borrowing my brother-in-law's truck as I moved some furniture. My brother-in-law's name is Stan. So I'm working, moving things, and at one point the car doesn't start. Now please understand, this is Stan's dream car. It was a Toyota Tacoma of some recent year. It had impressive specs that I don't understand. And it was the perfect shade of red. And I couldn't get it to start. And at this moment, my coworker Amy called me back. Hello? I hadn't fully realized how hot it was until this moment right here. I could feel the sweat between my face and the phone. It was really kind of gross. Ugh, gross image. And Amy says to me, Peter, I think I'm gonna say no, okay? Yes, of course, I say. And inside I'm thinking, I'm sure that'll sting later, but right now I have other things to worry about. Like, for example, I don't want to get roasted alive because Stan's truck won't start. See, that's a pun, because I could be referring to how, like, I can't get the AC to turn on because it won't start, or I'm gonna get roasted alive by Stan because he's mad at me. I'm pretty clever. Kind of an anticlimactic finish to the truck story. I just didn't have it in park, and you can't start a car when it's not in park. Lesson learned. Then later my coworker Amy signed up for an online dating site. So I definitely know where I stand in the pecking order. First there's the studs, then there's online dating, and then there's me. So that's flattering. Alright, so that's all I got. I hope you enjoyed. All these names that I used are fake names, but the stories are real and come from the place where my heart should be. I might get in trouble for this video because most of these girls I'm still in touch with and are some of my closest friends. So pray for me. Also a quick shout out to my friend Margot Loza, who wants some more followers on Instagram. She's got a competition going on with her special someone to see who can get the most followers on Instagram. So her handle is @LozaMargot, LOZAMARGOT. I'll write that up on the screen. I hope you enjoyed this video. I wish you a happy week, and I will see you next week. And please like, subscribe, share, all the happy things. I'm gonna reach 50 subscribers. God bless you all, and ciao!